first time it happened, I brushed it off as a prank. My friends claimed they had spotted me in places I had never been, engaging in activities I had never done. I laughed along with them, chalking it up to their overactive imaginations, or perhaps a case of mistaken identity. Little did I know that these seemingly innocuous incidents were harbingers of a chilling truth that would shatter my sense of reality. It started with casual remarks, a friend insisting they saw me at a cafe across town when I was at home, another swearing they saw me jogging in the park when I hadn't left my apartment all day. I dismissed these anecdotes as jokes, or the result of tired minds playing tricks. But as the occurrences multiplied, a growing unease gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. One day, a colleague pulled me aside at work, an expression of confusion etched across his face. "I saw you this morning at the train station," he said hesitantly, "but you left for work an hour ago. How's that possible?" My heart quickened, and a chill ran down my spine. "You must be mistaken," I replied, my voice betraying a hint of nervousness. "I haven't left the office all day." He insisted on the accuracy of his observation, describing my attire and mannerisms in vivid detail. The room felt constricting, and a sense of disquiet settled over me. I tried to shake off the encounter, convincing myself that there must be someone who looked remarkably like me wandering the city. As the weeks passed, the sightings became more frequent and surreal. Friends and acquaintances recounted encounters with my doppelganger, each story more perplexing than the last. Some claimed to have seen me engaged in bizarre activities, wandering through deserted alleyways, staring blankly into space, or whispering cryptic messages to strangers. It was as if my doppelganger existed in a parallel world, living a life that mirrored, yet diverged from, my own. Despite the growing concern, I clung to rational explanations. Maybe there was a look-alike out there, someone who just happened to share my features. Or perhaps it was an elaborate prank orchestrated by my friends, a collective effort to mess with my head. But deep down, a seed of doubt took root, and the unease festered, refusing to be ignored. The turning point came on a fog-laden evening. I was walking home from work, the city enveloped in an eerie silence. As I turned a corner, I caught sight of a figure in the mist, a silhouette that mirrored my own. My steps faltered, and my breath caught in my throat. I approached cautiously, heart pounding with a mixture of fear and fascination. The figure emerged from the fog, and I found myself face to face with my doppelganger. It was an uncanny replica of myself, down to the last detail. Every nuance of my appearance, from the way I walked to the expression in my eyes, was replicated in haunting precision. We locked eyes, and an electric current passed between us. Time seemed to stand still, the world around us dissolving into a surreal dreamscape. My doppelganger's eyes held a disconcerting familiarity, as if I were gazing into a mirror that reflected not just my physical self, but the essence of my being. A shiver ran down my spine, and a profound sense of dread washed over me. It was as if I had come face to face with a living embodiment of the unknown, a manifestation of a reality that defied all rational understanding. I stumbled backward, unable to tear my gaze away from the doppelganger that mirrored my every move. With a sudden jolt, the spell was broken. The figure in front of me began to fade, dissipating like mist in the wind. I stood there, rooted to the spot, grappling with the surreal encounter. The fog clung to the empty space where my doppelganger had stood, leaving behind an oppressive emptiness. The once dismissed tales of sightings now echoed in my mind, each account converging into a disconcerting narrative. I was no longer certain if I was the real me or just a reflection of someone else's existence. The boundaries between reality and illusion blurred, and I found myself caught in a web of uncertainty. As days turned into nights, the encounters with my doppelganger multiplied. It appeared at random intervals, weaving in and out of my life like a specter, with a purpose known only to itself. Friends and family, once skeptical, now eyed me with a mix of concern and trepidation. Whispers of a doppelganger plagued my waking hours, and sleep became an elusive refuge, haunted by nightmares of mirrored reflections and fractured identities. I sought solace in the opinions of professionals, psychiatrists, psychologists, even paranormal investigators. Each encounter with my doppelganger left me grasping at the edges of my sanity, and I yearned for answers that would unravel the enigma. Yet, every examination yielded inconclusive results. Some suggested stress-induced hallucinations, while others entertained the possibility of a rare psychological phenomenon. Desperation led me to delve into the realms of folklore and the supernatural. Tales of doppelgangers echoed across cultures, a harbinger of doom, a sinister twin that heralded the imminent unraveling of one's fate. As I immersed myself in the lore, the chilling realization set in that my encounters with the doppelganger were not mere coincidences, but a manifestation of a deeper, more ominous truth. The line between the real me and my doppelganger grew increasingly blurry. In the reflection of mirrors and windows, I saw a face that seemed both familiar and alien. The world around me became a hall of mirrors, distorting my perception and fracturing my sense of self. The doppelganger was no longer an external entity, but a shadow that lingered within, a spectral twin that cast doubt on the very essence of my existence. As the encounters persisted, I withdrew from the world, retreating into the confines of my own thoughts. The fear that I was a mere reflection haunted me, and I grappled with the existential dread of being a puppet in a cosmic play. I became obsessed with the idea that my doppelganger held the key to a reality beyond my grasp, a truth that eluded my understanding. One day, as I stared into a mirror, the doppelganger emerged once again. Its eyes bore into mine with a haunting intensity, and I felt a pull, as if it sought to merge with my very essence. In a moment of surreal clarity, I realized that confronting the doppelganger was not enough. I needed to understand the nature of our connection. Driven by an unrelenting need for answers, I embarked on a journey to unravel the mystery that bound me to my spectral twin. Clues led me to forgotten realms and ancient texts, delving into the arcane knowledge that whispered of doppelgangers as manifestations of unresolved destinies and fractured souls. The search took me to the outskirts of the city, where an abandoned mansion stood as a relic of a bygone era. Legends spoke of a mirror within its walls, a portal to realms unknown. With trepidation, I entered the decaying mansion, the air thick with the weight of forgotten secrets. In the dim light, I found the mirror, a grand, ornate relic that seemed to hold a power beyond comprehension. As I gazed into its depths, the room around me faded, and the doppelganger materialized beside me. Together, we stood before the mirror, our reflections merging into a disconcerting unity. The mirror became a gateway, a threshold between worlds that transcended the boundaries of perception. The doppelganger and I were no longer distinct entities, but facets of a singular consciousness, entwined in a cosmic dance that echoed through the corridors of existence. As the truth unfolded, I understood that the doppelganger was not a malevolent force, but a reflection of my own fractured soul. It was a manifestation of the unresolved conflicts and unexplored facets of my being, a spectral twin that held the key to self-discovery. With a sense of acceptance, I embraced the doppelganger within. The mirror became a vessel of transformation, a portal through which I confronted the shadows of my own existence. The fractures in my soul mended, and the existential dread that had gripped me for so long began to dissipate. I emerged from the abandoned mansion, reborn. The encounters with the doppelganger ceased, and the specter that had haunted my every step faded into the recesses of memory. The world around me regained its clarity, and the dissonance that had plagued my existence was replaced by a newfound sense of unity. The doppelganger had served as a catalyst for self-discovery, a mirror that reflected not just the external manifestations of my identity, but the internal struggles and hidden truths that defined me. The journey through alternate realities, encounters with a spectral twin, and the descent into the realms of the unknown had led to a profound revelation. The realization that the true nature of the doppelganger lay not in the external world, but within the depths of my own soul. As I walked away from the abandoned mansion, I carried the lessons of the journey with me. The city unfolded before me, unchanged, yet imbued with a renewed sense of wonder. The line between reality and illusion remained, but the fear that had once gripped me was replaced by a profound understanding, a recognition of the complexities that define the human experience. The doppelganger, once a source of terror, had become a guide through the labyrinth of self-discovery. The encounters that had unnerved me were now cherished memories, a testament to the transformative power of confronting the shadows within. As I moved forward, the reflections in mirrors and windows no longer filled me with trepidation. Instead, they became mirrors of introspection, reflecting the journey that had led me to embrace the doppelganger within and emerge whole, a unified self no longer haunted by the specter of fractured identities.